Disclaimer, if you have a dog with reactivity who is in the family of the Bull Terrier, the Pit Bull, the Staffordshire Bull Terrier, don't try the things that I'm doing with a bunch of dogs around. You have to understand that I've lived with 50 dogs at a time, with high-level dogs, aggressive Huskies, Pit Bulls, Rottweilers, German Shepherds, handling them for years. So I have developed an experience level that allows me to do this seemingly effortlessly. What I'm doing is I'm giving a story about how we do it in the pack with Louie. If you get one or two things that are helpful for you to train your dog without other dogs around, then go ahead and do it. That's the point of these videos, is to actually give you some information about what to do at home. Carefully manage your dog around other dogs once you develop the training and the level of a relationship that's required to create calm state of mind. If you can't create calm state of mind, do not bring your Staffy around other dogs if you are not able to calm them down the moment you ask them to calm down. That's the key. You want to work on the ability to have your dog go calm, submissive without other dogs around. Do not expect to be able to do that without potential problems. These dogs can kill other dogs and they will not let go. If they hold on to a dog and they get a hold of it, they will not let go and it will be devastating. So please do not try this at home. Pretty serious disclaimer, but whatever. But it's all true, you know. Hi everyone, I'm the Autistic Dog Wizard. Thanks for following the story of Louie. Throughout the series, we've done 3 videos of his progression and rehabilitation with the pack. Now, I wasn't filming last Saturday because I had a lot going on and there was a lot of people in the park. And so whenever he goes in front like this, what you want to do is you want to reset. So I'm going to cut him off because he was cutting me off a little bit. He's a pretty respectful guy, but you know, so give him a little bit of tension right there because I don't want him to go any further. So sit, good boy, stay. And then you take a deep breath. Always, because that's even a little bit of tension. A little bit of tension from him going up like that, making a step forward into your personal space is a form of tension. So I relieve the tension by bringing him back behind me. And then also taking a long deep breath. Rolling my shoulders a little bit, stretching my neck a little bit, so just to decrease that tension, because to be honest, my tendency in life and my weakness in life is tension. So a lot of times I've had dogs in the past who have reacted because I'm tense. So I've worked on my tension a lot. And so I've developed bodily techniques and mindful techniques and also breathing techniques to release the tension. And I do a lot of exercise as well, so there's not a lot of tension that builds up inside of my body. This is actually creating a lot of mental stimulation for him. Him showing this type of behavior, even though we haven't done a lot of exercise today because it's about 40 degrees and so we're just doing a low-key socializing day in the backyard. This is mental exercise for him, asking him to sit and stay when he actually wants to kind of move forward and engage, maybe not necessarily in a bad way, but at least in a dog smelling, interested, curious sort of way. This is mental stimulation for him, just asking him to sit there. So the one mistake that I did make on Saturday was that I asked my camera girl, maybe I shouldn't say it that way, my girlfriend, because we had a difficult time one day when he was around my girlfriend. And he sort of had an explosive moment, and I don't know where it comes from, whether it's from his past or that's not necessarily too important. All I really know is that he's doing the behavior in the moment. So I tried to create a bit of separation, just some physical space to see if he would still react. But he's a really smart guy, so that was a bit of a mistake because we can't really fool him. So he knew she was out there with a couple of dogs, and so his anxiety escalated because there was a separation in the pack, and so he kept on that high-level squealing sort of anxiety response at a high level. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was probably 8, 9, teetering towards 10, and at 10 they start fighting. So I was managing about 10 dogs on my hip while I was managing him with pretty much my full mind. I wasn't paying attention to the environment, I was only paying attention to him and managing him with my mind and my body language to not have him escalate and not have any dogs sort of try to correct him. So it was a difficult day. And so I got to see the behavior that the owners are really trying to work on. We didn't film it like I said, but it was intense. And So when a dog is in rehabilitation, generally the pattern is 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So we're always continually moving in a forward direction of recovery, but steps that kind of recede the progress happen. And so that's to be expected. I didn't put too much heaviness, I didn't put too much worry, I didn't put too much concern into it, because I knew that we were going to make progress the next day. And so when I have a difficult day, I step up on the next day and have more intention and more focus and more strategy. And so he's doing really good today. He hasn't had any episodes of anxiety, just mild, but hardly any. And when I asked the owner how he's been doing, they said that he's been doing really well, and that the new system for the halty and the leash around his neck is really helping as well. And so I think their release of stress is definitely helping him manage his anxiety as well. So the more comfortable that an owner is with their dog, generally the more that the dog is going to be better behaved with me. So now I'm not going to reset him because he went to the side, but I am going to ask him not to be in my personal space. So go over there, go. And then I'll release that with the breath again. Dogs understand this sort of thing. The positioning that they take relative to the human is a very important feature in their psychology that we don't necessarily pick up on all the time. But someone who's experienced, who's dealt with a lot of dogs and a pack of dogs, understands the importance of claiming a personal space. So right now what I'm dealing with him right now is him just thinking about the little chicken wire over there. That's basically what he's doing. See, his ears are up. See, this is what you want to look for. Ears up, bad, bad. Ears up, bad. So what you can do, give him a little touch back here. Sit. Down. Oh, he's trained. I'm going to put him on his side just a little bit. I'm not going to make him roll on the rocks. Just a little bit on the side. And I take a deep breath when I do it. Down. 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 Come on, you can lay down. Come on. Down. Yeah, that's a good boy. Oh, that's a good boy. See, look. See what you want to look for is you want to look the splayed out to the side like this. See that? He doesn't take offense to it. He knows exactly what I'm doing. I've done this before with many dogs. What I'm doing is I'm telling him to go into a more calm, submissive headspace by actually putting the body into a more calm, submissive headspace. Before he was in alert, sort of moving forward headspace because he's targeting the little Shih Tsu, Ellie. And so see how his ears go back when you ask him to do this? It seems like he's maybe been asked to do this. Either that, or he's naturally a more submissive kind of guy, because dominant dogs tend not to give up so easily like this. So either he's had this happen before, asked him to go into a calm, submissive position, or he's just more naturally acquiescing to my, position, which is the leader. And now keep in mind, I've walked him 5 times already, so we've developed this relationship. I've never asked him to do this before. I generally wait a little longer. I could do an accelerated version of it, but I'd rather develop the relationship that's based on trust first. So he's targeting just a little bit more, so I'm going to just... And then what you can do also, just gently and deep breath while I'm doing it. And then you can just massage his head a little bit like this. This is what a dog would do to the other dog who's in a headspace that they don't agree with. Is they try to relax them by just giving them, this would be their teeth. They'd be doing this with their teeth. The mom would do this too to the puppy. And then we'll see how he reacts to the puppy, or to the little dog now. Shaking off, good sign. See, that also makes Ellie more comfortable. So Ellie's aware of the conversation that's going on with him. So she's giving me feedback. The little dog is giving me feedback on how comfortable she feels with him. And her comfort level tells me about his energy. So his energy is unpleasant in her mind because she feels him targeting her. So she will give me information. So the more freely she moves around, the more comfortable she is, the more she's kind of hiding in among our legs and sort of staying off and not moving. the more uncomfortable she is. So I use the other dogs as an indication for his state of mind. So he's doing good. See, he's not targeting her anymore. It's good. So I'll make a controlled pass. Now, keep in mind that I also have, so not fantastic, he needs improvement. But the more exposure he gets to this and having a little dog here, the more he's just going to kind of get used to it. Now, see what I have is, I have him connected here, so even if I happen to drop the leash, he's not getting off. So we have a safety, right? Safety, you know, like safety comes with experience, and so those are the kind of things that add safety for a dog with lunging and or targeting type issues. So anytime he moves ahead, what you want to do is you want him to stay at your side, right? So if he moves ahead, I move ahead of him. This is generally the position you want your dog to be in, to have their mind sort of be at a following state. The following state doesn't make decisions on their own. The following state waits for the leader to make the decisions about what we can and cannot do, when we're doing it, how fast we're doing it, and with what intensity as well. So when they go behind like this, their ears automatically go back, tail stays low. It's almost impossible for them, pretty much is impossible for them, unless they look over to the side with a curiosity, but to have the ears up if they're behind. So the position really dictates the state of mind. So with him, and he's kind of a naturally follower, he's not really a dominant dog, he's not resisting a lot of this type of things that I'm asking him to do, to be a follower state of mind. A dominant dog would be a lot less inclined to give up that state of mind, depending on the person who's handling them. So you have to understand that I have a lot of experience dealing with a lot of high-level dogs with dominant, aggressive, fearful, anxiety, just you name it, I've sort of handled it. So that experience is coming through in how I'm handling it and how I'm carrying my body and my energy, so that plays into it as well. But he's doing good. So if he steps forward, I step forward too. So Ellie's coming out here, you might be able to see her in the camera. We'll see if he targets. If he targets, I'll give him a little reminder that he's not supposed to do that. Ellie's giving me good feedback on his mental state of mind, so she's testing him right now by going just a little bit closer. Dogs do this. They will test the state of mind of a dog by going just a little bit closer here and there. See, she's helping me. She's helping me by giving me an opportunity to correct his behavior. Dogs really care about balancing out dogs. They care about the structure and the benefit of the pack, and so she's no different, even though she's only been here for 6 days and last time she was here over a year ago. She's still interested in making sure that all the pack members are getting along fine, and that she actually put herself in a slight bit of danger intentionally because she trusts me that I can handle him. And so she gave me an opportunity to work on his fixation with small dogs. So I have to say thank you, Ellie. Good girl. Good girl, Ellie. We call her chicken wire because I had to chicken wire the whole fence. Not that she's trying to run away, because she lives right across the street. So we don't want her going home across the street. So she's not really in a flight mode though, so it's okay. So anyway, long story short, Louie had a difficult day on Sunday, or Saturday last week. I had a lot going on too, and I'm autistic, so like a lot of energy is coming applied to me from people visiting spontaneously or just people coming over to talk to me. It's difficult when you're autistic because small talk is difficult and it's unpredictable. The unpredictable nature of people coming up randomly is challenging. And so I've learned to, I've only known I'm autistic for the last year and a bit, so I'm learning how to deal with those situations. But I did go into a bit of a shutdown for about 3 days afterwards, just because I had so much going on. There was a lot of stimulation involved, and so I needed 3 days to reset, essentially. I still kept with the pack and I walked the pack, but I was in a very much lowered state of, ability. My glass was more half full than it was at full. And right now it's pretty full. So I feel much better. Diesel, Diesel, sit. Stop, sit. Sit. Come on, sit. Emery, sit. Good boy. Got a lot of dominant dogs here today. I mean, I just take care of a lot of dominant dogs. So him seeing my ability to take care of a high level dog, pretty much the highest level male here is this husky cattle dog mix, Diesel. Emery's pretty high as well, but he's lower in age, so he doesn't have quite the same status that Diesel does, and he also lives here, so he has a higher level of expectations and correcting sort of mentality, whereas Emery comes and lets go of the dominance that he maybe carries at home just to be more playful. So Louie's doing well, and today we're just really focusing in on not having him fixate on the small little dog, and Ellie's helping me out a lot with that. Just want to demonstrate a little bit of the state of mind that we're looking for in the body language that is calm submissive. And what you really want to do to encourage a calm submissive state of mind is to give them affection, only give them affection when they're in this state of mind. Avoid giving them affection when they're either excited or they have their ears up. What we're looking for, ears back is good. Ears back like that's good. So I've actually already been giving this guy a bit of affection, almost right from the first day, because he's already been showing me signs of being calm submissive, right? So if you kneel down, I don't want him to come over here, I want him to stay on the side. It's really important. If he comes over into this personal space here right in front of me, like right between my legs, and it's not really invited and he kind of just does it, that's actually him taking up my personal space. And that actually makes him more dominant. So me kneeling like this also invites him over, but I don't want him over here right now. So he goes over there. Go. Now, if he was in my personal space, when Diesel came over to do that, he would take exception to that because he would have been owning my personal space, which means he would have been owning me, and that would give him the right to go after a dog who's trying to come into his personal space at that moment. See what I'm saying? This is perfect. That's a good opportunity for me to give him a little bit of a pet. If you want your dog to be more relaxed, pet him behind the ear, like this. Calms the dog down. Right here, right behind the ears, like this. The thing you don't want, see, he's being very respectful. He has self-control there. You saw him move up a little bit there. Come here. Come on. Come here. Gonna get him to go right back where he was. Sit. I just want to finish this demonstration. Stay. Take a deep breath because there's a little bit of a tense moment. Him going up with his ears up is a little tense. So you always have to, dogs really care about resetting the chemistry every single time. So I reset, see he just gave me a little touch on the skin there. Now he's going into my personal space, so I'm going to reset him again. Right there. Stay. He knows what I'm doing. Dogs understand this kind of stuff. Stay. Go. Go on. Go. He got up before because he's thinking about coming into my personal space right here. I don't mind that quite as much. But if he was any closer than this, I would get a little uncomfortable and he would also be uncomfortable. Not because I'm uncomfortable, but he knows that he's intended on claiming my space a little bit. This guy right here. So he barks at me when I leave the house because he thinks he is in a slight bit of control. Anyway, so like I was saying, pet behind the ears to keep them calm. Reinforce the calmness by petting behind the ears. If you pet on their bum, right where the base of their tail is, that's the most neutral spot you can pet a dog, which means you're not going to make them more submissive, you're not going to make them more dominant. If you pet underneath a dog who's displaying strong behaviors, overly confident, overly dominant, overly assertive behaviors, this will actually make it worse. So I'm not going to touch him underneath. I would never touch this dog underneath the chin or on the chest, actually. I always want him to lower his head a little bit, so I'm going to pet him on top of the head. That lowers his head to a more submissive body language. Now, if you're dealing with a dog with insecurity issues, that is maybe fearful or like unsure of things, you actually do want them to encourage to lift their head, so you actually do pet them underneath the chin. So it's really important to pet the dogs in the appropriate spot to create the appropriate outcome. We're handling a dog who's in rehabilitation for having aggressive behavior. So I'm talking about all the little things that add up to rehabilitating a dog. Sit. we're kind of just trying to be in the general ballpark of things. Like, you don't, like, I care about these things. I care about identifying which dogs are submissive, which dogs are dominant, which dogs are insecure, which dogs are fearful. I care about that, and I can see it in a dog right away. So I know when and how to approach a dog, and I also know how and when to pet them and what area is going to be most beneficial for their psychology. I'm just giving you as much information as I can, and you can do with it what you will. I wouldn't expect anyone who's just walking around with one dog to do all the little things I'm saying. I'm talking about for people who have difficulties with their dog and their dogs are demonstrating accelerated mind, accelerated aggressive, accelerated reactivity, dogs who are overly excited when people visit, jumping all over them. All these little things that I'm describing with the petting are relevant. And so you're not gonna see like a sudden change, you're gonna see a gradual change. Gradual changes happen by doing all the little things with dogs that add up to the behavior that you actually are looking for. My philosophy is, don't sweat the small stuff for the human, but when it comes to dogs, all the little stuff add up. So do sweat the small little things. Like, that's a little thing that I'm paying attention to. I don't really want him to walk up. So what I actually would encourage people to do, to not have your dog go in your personal space, because dogs do it all the time, drag your feet. Don't lift your feet, drag your feet like this with your chin up until he moves. It's not hurting him, but I am telling him that I don't want him in my personal space. I know it kind of looks ridiculous, but the reason why I'm not lifting my feet is so that I don't step on his paws by accident. And also, oftentimes when a dog is laying in a position that I don't want them to and they're kind of in my way, what I will do is I'll drag my feet while I'm walking towards them so they can have the auditory cue to move out of the way. Because I don't want to just walk right into them, right? But I do want them to get out of the way. So I'll give them awareness that I'm coming by dragging my feet. Because them being in my personal space is a huge deal. And it should be a huge deal for people who are managing difficult dogs as well. Personal space is key. Have a great day.